As a lot of us know by now, flat maps don't do countries justice. The projection isn't correct, so for a lot of places, we don't even know what it actually looks like. Well, today I'm here to tell you exactly what Chile looks like, and it looks pretty much like this, at least from a 3D perspective on a globe map. Like if you were to go to outer space, this is exactly how it would be. I think we finally have found the perfect two-state solution, boys. We're just going to create a completely transparent country. We're gonna make a country a .png image. And of course, the only way to do that is to actually create checkered borders, and then it just kind of wipes itself off the map automatically. Like the Earth knows not to show this graphic in the background, so it'll just be like water. Once again, another flight to completely avoid Belarusian airspace. Can you believe it? This flight from LA to like North Carolina, even they're avoiding Belarus? That's crazy. Is it really that big of a deal? You know how much gas they're wasting by not going over Belarus? I don't think it's worth it. I think they should have done it. Europe during Eurovision every single year. Oh, you didn't know that Turkey is not in Europe? It's actually Australia. This is what Europe actually looks like, but the government doesn't want you to know it. They have so many secrets. Listen, like all the frog stuff. Contrary to popular belief, the border between Germany and Poland isn't actually a straight line. Keep that in mind next time, because the geography experts will tell you off. Only a true geography nerd knows what it actually looks like. Wow. Ah yes, the classic, what if Austria-Hungary united today, but instead of Austria-Hungary, it actually looks like Texas. Maybe they want to channel their inner cowboy. Who knows? Europe could use some more cowboys. They don't got that over there. They're big fans, and also, I mean, they're getting a lot of other territory from this. I don't know, Bavaria, are you cool with this? You cool with being a part of Texas, Austria-Hungary? I don't know what the hell you even call it. As we all know, population density, or where population tends to cluster, is usually pretty odd, but there's nothing more weird than this. When it comes to Canada, over 50% of the population is below this red line. I know it doesn't seem right, but trust me, I'm an expert on this. At least half of the Canadians are somewhere below here. I mean, it might just be 51%, it could be 79. I'm just saying, a majority live down here. My proposal for the partition of France. This will benefit no one at all and will be completely useless. So we have France in blue, and then France 2 in red. Are there any French viewers out there? Which France do you want to be a part of? I don't know, it's kind of a close one between High, somewhere between the H and the I, or maybe Corsica, because it looks kind of sus. I love these types of maps. Believe it or not, every color has equal population to the other colors. So this green region down here is perfectly equal to these other green regions. And I'm glad we're focusing on two continents that don't get a whole lot of love, Africa and South America. I will say Africa is a bit more alpha in this instance. Clearly there's more colors over here, so that's gotta be the case. Finally, it's time to get to the bottom of this, or to the south of this. What are the southern states actually in the United States? A lot of people consider it to be like Louisiana, Alabama. That's definitely like the deep south. The lines get a little bit blurred. Does Virginia count as the south? Well, we finally have an answer today. The red are the southern states. The blue are the northern states. Oh, whoops, did I say states? I meant state. There is only one northern state. We're all in the south. Well, Alaska, have fun trying to keep the Union together when we have the Civil War 2.0. Each section contains approximately 10% of the world's area. Isn't that crazy? It's almost like we've been designed by the aliens to look like this. Look how perfect all the proportions are. Like, what are the chances that things would look so beautiful? 10%, 10%, 10%. Even in this purple strip that only has a part of Russia, Alaska, and Antarctica, has 10% of the world population. I didn't even know that. I thought there was like 3 people living up here, but clearly not. Another two-state solution, except this time it's multiple states. So we're gonna give the USSR the northern part of this land. Oh, not the no-no flag. We've got the UK and the USA taking the middle part, as well as France with the southern part. And clearly, if this were to be the case, we're gonna have some people adopt some new flags. And if we're dividing this place up, we're gonna make it even crazier. Again, I think this guy's plan is supposed to take place over the course of the next like century. So the flags are going to change. Like, these are gonna be their future flags. It's pretty obvious. Oh, and the USSR comes back. Forgot to mention that. Spoiler alert, get ready for this mind bender. The flight from London to London is longer than the flight from London to London. That's right. I know it is hard to believe. It's hard to believe that the US could be creative at all when it comes to city naming. We just gotta jack other European city names. I don't know about you guys, but does anyone else really want to visit London? I actually kind of live in London. I didn't even know that. Territories of modern Australia in the red. Territories of the Austrian Empire in the green. Territories shared by modern Australia and Austrian Empire in the blue. Can you believe the fact fact that these two shared the entire ocean together? Like, clearly they were the greatest maritime empire of all time, but no one cares about it because nobody lived out here. That's why we forget it so easily in history. Everyone always gives Mongolia all the credit for being the largest land empire for a second there, but no one talks about the great seafaring nation of Australia, Austria. Basically, every statistical map ever of Europe, Western Europe, always in the green, it's always good. Nordic countries, always really good. And then there's pretty much everything in the east, which is either orange or really bad. It's almost like this giant continent had a lot of things going on in it in the last couple decades. Things that would make it kind of hard to have these other countries catch up. My plan is to create a perfectly flat and level Kansas by moving 5,501 cubic miles of earth from west to east. It's the ideal Kansas. Still some details to work out about rivers, roads. Watch out for the 900-foot cliff bisecting Kansas City. This is what the problem with America is nowadays. We don't set our goals high enough. Like, we went to the moon. Why not make a perfectly flat Kansas? We knew what we want. And just think of the human achievement. Think about the international community looking at us do this really useful task. We don't talk about Greece too much, but I know this is going to be hard to believe. At least 40% of Greek population doesn't live in the red circle. Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's right. Your school probably lied to you. The education system's so messed up for not actually showing you this. It's like they skipped this whole chapter. My son, who's 56 by the way, drew this all by hand and by memory. Can you believe that? People got some crazy good drawings of maps nowadays. It's insane. I wish I was half as good as this 56-year-old. This clever map of England shows us exactly which parts are colored green and which parts are not. Fascinating. So these parts are a little bit less green, whereas this part is super green. So crazy. It's almost like you just did this randomly. Death rate by country in Africa. So the pink is 100% if you're in these areas. I can't say it. I can't even say it with a straight face. I've been trying to go for so long. If you're in these areas, you're going to die. Then there's blue, which shows you lake, and of course, no data, because no one knows what the hell is going on over here. I hate when I do that. I read it first. States where crystal meth is completely illegal. Why is this funny? Wow, Gabon. Looking kind of like a sussy bucka, if I do say so myself. I literally can't even say those lines anymore without, like, delivering it like Hank Schrader. I don't know, Walt. Seeming kind of sus lately. We don't often talk about how some countries have different names than what we might know them as. For instance, North Korea is not actually called North Korea. They are the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Well, I've got another one here to share with you guys today. Argentina is not actually the true name. It's actually West Falkland, or the United Kingdom. And now I'm really hoping that this late into the video, there are no Argentinians still here watching, because they're about to be pissed. Israel, if it had manifest destiny, just draw two random lines and just say, hey, it's all mine. Pretty sure that's gonna go well. Go ahead, let's just try it. Every US state, but all the states are named after their position compared to West Virginia. I think I've seen this one before, but it is one of the greatest things ever, especially because it matches up pretty well. California is actually west times the 8th Virginia, but of course, we always talk about the lower 48 Virginias. Let's not forget about Big Virginia and Island Virginia. Here's a diagram showing the Earth's 5 largest oceans side by side next to each other. It's usually rare, but you can really get the grasp of just how vast some of these bodies of water actually are. Could you imagine if the Pacific Ocean was right next to the Atlantic Ocean? That would make things really wild down here, huh? In blue shows the territories shared by modern Ghana and the Ghana Empire. Now, unfortunately, we lost this data. It is underneath the ice caps, but whenever this whole continent melts, we'll finally get the answers, because they have territory somewhere down here. In yellow shows North Vatican City, and in green, you have the Kingdom of 127 Sicilies. I don't say this too often, but finally, a perfect world. Finally, someone caught it. It's an actual flight over Belarus. I don't know how they got this data. I mean, I thought they were trying to, but this must have been like one in a lifetime chance. How did they find this plane? It's almost like you just opened up Paint and drew it, but no, I believe you. Border changes after Treaty of this in 2037. Oh, we have a look into the future, guys. We have West Taiwan, North Hong Kong, Electric Boogaloo. Let's not forget about Thursday Republic. This only exists on Thursdays, by the way. The Han Solo Free State, basically a puppet government to Walt Disney. North Korea, as well as North Korea. How much you want to bet this peace deal is only going to last a couple years, because remember, Taiwan technically has a claim still to all this land. They're gonna probably be the ones to break up China and start another civil war. I doubt they're gonna be able to defeat this place, at least if it's a Thursday. So that is why no aircraft is going over Belarus. The pilots know we have an imposter among us. Why did I not think of that? Fun fact, if it wasn't for the UK, France, Switzerland, Italy, Montenegro, Albania, North Macedonia, Greece, Turkey, Lebanon, I don't want to say them all, you could sail in a perfectly straight line from Ireland to Australia. Imagine, like, what a find. If it wasn't just for these small little places, we could have been doing this by now. A map showing North America's coldest season of the year. So there are 4 seasons, correct? There's fall, summer, spring, and winter. And from the looks of this, it looks like one season is dominating the cold parts of the year. What? I don't know, Brian. Something seems sus. European countries that lost a naval battle to cavalry or rhyme with Dungry. This seems like it's gonna be a test question. Could it be Hungary that lost the naval battle to cavalry? Netherlands seems like it rhymes with Dungry. Yeah, thank you for the study guide. I'm ready for this test. I mean, it just makes sense that Hungary, being a landlocked country, would lose a naval battle to cavalry. They don't have a navy. This isn't even a shit post. This is actually really interesting. Google Trends, Wales versus Wales. As you can see by the tone of my voice, I do prefer one over the other. Most of the world doesn't give a crap about Wales the country. They just want the dumb animal. This is how you know who your true friends are, though, little British friend. A lot of countries in Africa, South America even. But damn, even in your own continent, these disgust me. When you try to create an accurate map of the world, but you're also an absolute British chap from the 1930s. I mean, there's not much difference between this map and the regular map projections that we normally use. I mean, they toned it down a bit, but the British always gotta be in the center. World just revolves around them. I love how it's just like an internet thing to trigger the British now. Like, why are we doing this? What is up with 2021 and just making the British mad? The British Isles, if it was actually in Eastern Europe, obviously the United Kingdom would be Ukraine. I mean, UK and UK. Poland would clearly be Ireland because it's always being split apart. See, this one put some thought behind it. This is going to be taken by another country very soon, and this is just a high five. I don't know. Me finding out every week that countries don't have evenly distributed population? Oh my god, guys! This is crazy. I want names. Names right now. Who made this world map? We need to come after this teacher's job. This is egregious. I'm only half kidding, to be honest. How are you gonna put Africa and South America, 2 continents, and then your ass divide up North America to US, Canada, Alaska for some reason? That's a fucking state. I'm gonna feel really bad if this was a kid, but this feels like it was probably a teacher. Don't get me started on the positioning. I don't know why Africa's not touching Asia. No New Zealand. That's probably the thing that's most triggering to me. Also, what the hell is this? What happened to the lakes? Is this a map of the future? Maybe that's where I went wrong. Where in the world? This is to show you what Earth's gonna look like in 1,000 years. There's gonna be multiple continents in North America. It makes sense now. Hard to believe, but South Africa is actually more north, east, south, and west than this small country within South Africa. It's almost like South Africa completely encompasses this country. It's almost like this place is landlocked inside of another country. That's so weird. Crazy. Disputed territories between Brazil and Kazakhstan. We clearly have Brazil in the green and Kazakhstan in the purple. And here in all the red is disputed territory. There's a lot of things to look at here. A lot. I don't even really know where to begin, but I'm just going to show you guys this and you can pause the video and take a closer look for yourself. We now have the true form of the United States. There's Hawaii, North Hawaii, East Hawaii, and then of course just all these heathen lands. I think that's a much better term than Canada and Mexico. Let's just name them all heathens. All right, that works. And thank you to the patrons of June. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I'm 'bout a nut. AryanAfterHours. Sussy Imposter does a little trolling. Zeffi. Poppy Drew Woo. Stormtrooper 501. Patrick C. Manny 74. LuxembourgLover. Aaron F. Anthony G. Call of Tortoise. Dalton D. Elijah Senpai. EpiNick. Full Send. Kaylee K. And M203 BrushEm. Thank you.